So I think we should give everybody just a couple more minutes in case there's some technical issues with folks trying to log in, being that this is a remote virtual class. So let's give them a couple minutes and then I can start it off, and we'll make sure that we're recording starting now.
Yep, it's recording already.
Great. So as we're waiting for folks to join us, I wanted to talk a little bit about the weather right now and our lack of rain that we've had so far this year, and remind folks that when it does start to rain to please turn off your automatic timers for your sprinklers so that they don't go on at night during a rain event. A lot of us kind of keep them on during this time of year, but as the rain does come, and I'm sure it will, remember to turn those back, if not off, for the winter, and reset them in the spring. And with that being said, I think we're going to go ahead and get started. So I want to welcome everybody to our new virtual format for our WaterSmart classes. Thanks for joining us. Before we get started, though, I wanted to talk about Citrus Heights Water District and some of the services we do have for our customers. We have quite a few that will help you be more efficient with water. And we have some rebate programs that will hopefully give you incentive to change out maybe an old underperforming toilet. So some of the services we have are free WaterWise house calls. We'll come out and we'll do a water audit for your irrigation system. We'll run the stations and set them up for a watering schedule. There will also be some recommendations on some of the things that you might look to improve your irrigation system, like changing out some heads to a more efficient head that they have nowadays, or possibly getting a new smart controller for your irrigation system. And we at Citrus Heights Water District currently have a direct install WaterSmart smart controller program, which is free to our customers on a first come, first served basis. So all you have to do to sign up for that is go to our website and sign up, and we will contact you to get the process moving forward. We also have a few rebate programs that we have for our customers. We recently started up a new pressure reducing valve rebate program that we will give our customers up to $150 if they purchase and install a brand new pressure reducing valve at their property. We also have a high efficiency clothes washer rebate program that we currently run through SMUD. For a brand new washing machine, we will give you a $50 rebate. All the details are at SMUD's website. And finally, as I mentioned earlier, we do have a high efficiency toilet rebate for our customers up to $75 of the purchase of a toilet to change out your old inefficient toilet into a new high efficiency toilet, which is mostly what's on the market nowadays. So with that being said, let's move into our webinar today. And what we're doing today is something a little different than we usually do, and this is a home water audit for your house from the inside out. So today we have Debby Figoni here to speak. She's going to be doing a live Q&A after a pre-recorded video that you're going to be watching, and will be available to answer any questions you might have after the video. And Debby, I've been working with her for several years now, quite a pleasure. She's been in the environmental field for both public and private agencies for the last 3 decades. So she's seasoned, and she has a lot of knowledge and a lot of experience and a lot of energy to offer the folks that might have some questions. Over the past 15 years, she's worked enthusiastically to help educate over 10,000 residents and businesses about the efficient use of water. And today we're lucky to have her here. She's from down south, and give a wave out there, Debbie, to everybody. And welcome to the webinar. And let's get this show started, and we'll come back with any questions and answers. And if you do have a question, I urge you to go ahead and click on the chat box on your screen and type in your question, and we'd be happy to answer those at the end of the session. So let's roll the video, folks.
Hello, my name is Debbie, and I'm a water efficiency expert. Water efficiency is crucial to the future of our water supply and your personal finances. Achieving water efficiency is not difficult, and I'll be walking you through a series of steps you can take as a Citrus Heights Water District customer to save you money and take advantage of free resources offered by the district. Did you know that about 2/3 of your water is used outdoors for your landscape? The amount depends on the size of the landscape and how efficiently you're watering it. Indoor water use is typically 55 gallons per person per day. So if you have a family of 4, your indoor use should be about 220 gallons a day. In a 2-month billing cycle, that would be about 13,420 gallons. That means your indoor use would be about 18 units of water. If your total bill was 58 units of water, it is likely the balance, 40 units or 30,000 gallons, was used outdoors, or that you might have a water leak. The best way to know if you have a water leak and to monitor your water use is to check out your water meter. The water meter is usually located near the front edge of the property next to the street and is flush with the ground. Though there will be slight variances in how the meter appears, the fundamental point is that the water meter both records water use and shows the flow of water. On this meter, you can see several indicators for the flow of water. The most basic test to know if you have a leak on your property is to make sure no one is using water in the house. That includes a load of laundry, and then watch to see if there's any flow going through the meter. If you see water flow, that is a good indicator that there is some form of leak on the property. Homes sometimes have a shutoff valve for the water going into the house and the water for the irrigation system. Using these valves can help you further isolate the location of the leak. For example, if you turn off the water supply to the house and you still see the meter running, then there's a good chance you have a leak in your exterior water system. Once you know you have some leak going on in the property, there are some testing methods we will share to help you find it. Should this not work, there are leak detection companies that excel in finding leaks, and plumbing companies who can fix the leaks. Please note that all the pipes and water systems on the customer side of the meter are the responsibility of the property owner. Let's continue our tour by looking at some common sources of exterior water inefficiencies. Broken sprinkler heads can generate a huge amount of waste. Often we set our sprinklers to run at night, so while we sleep, we don't see this waste happening. You may notice in the morning if you have a large amount of water puddled, or you may see a little dirt river of debris flow being swept down your driveway. The best way to find these broken heads and potential inefficiencies is to manually run your irrigation system to observe it in action and identify any problems. It's recommended to do an irrigation test once a month. While doing this monthly daytime check, also look for overspray where your sprinklers are watering concrete and not watering plants. No matter how much you water the sidewalk, it won't grow. Sprinklers should be redirected to target dirt areas and reduce runoff that goes into the streets. You can also identify if you have too much overspray by looking at the hardscape around your home. If you see water running down your driveway to the gutter and eventually to the storm drain, you're wasting water and you need to adjust your sprinklers. The most important location for water efficiency is the Irrigation Controller. A reasonable schedule will keep your landscape beautiful and healthy without wasting water. Not all homes have irrigation controllers. So for those who water by hand, these same watering ideas and tips still apply. Irrigation controllers are designed to regulate the time and duration of water used in your yard. They are set by areas of the yard, also called zones, so you can create different settings for different zones. This allows you to align the watering requirements with the different type of plants you are watering in each zone. So, while different plants need different amounts of water, these general points typically apply. First, it's better to water less days per week for more minutes than to water daily for a short period of time. Longer duration watering ensures the water sinks deeper into the soil where the plant roots can drink it up. With shorter watering, the water only touches the top of the soil surface where it can quickly evaporate. Generally, a sprinkler should run for 6 to 8 minutes, while drip should run for about 15 to 20 minutes. Again, it depends on the type of plants. Second, as seasons change, so should your water use. During the summer, you typically need to water more to counter the heat and longer periods of daylight. During the winter, you can reduce the number of watering days. Typically, a good watering pattern is 3 days a week during the spring and summer, and 2 days a week during the fall and winter. Third, schedule your controller to water late at night or early in the morning. I prefer early in the morning, like 4 a.m., since this may leave some evidence of overwatering, broken sprinklers, and/or water runoff. Finally, when a solid rain arrives and soaks the ground naturally, turn off the irrigation system for days, if not weeks. Let Mother Nature do the work for you and save. For those of you who have an irrigation controller you don't love, Citrus Heights Water District offers a complimentary Smart Irrigation Controller installation program. Smart controllers, also called weather-based irrigation controllers, automatically adjust with the weather, but must be programmed correctly in order to function properly. You can learn more about this program at chwd.org. Let's take a couple minutes and dive deeper into the irrigation controller system. Note that there is a wide array of controllers on the market. So to get specifics on your controller, search the internet for the manual, or perhaps even better, YouTube for videos that specifically show you how to control your controller. However, all controllers operate on the basic principles of controlling zones, time, duration, and frequency of water turning on and off. Therefore, you must adjust and review all these elements to water efficiently. Unfortunately, a common mistake is when days and time are set in programs B and C, and the controller ends up watering more than you thought you had programmed it to water, sometimes resulting in huge water waste. As a quick preview on this controller, note these steps. The homeowner can set each area, also called a zone or valve, for the number of days, start time per day, and number of minutes per valve. A properly set irrigation controller can make a huge difference in your water efficiency, but it is also the case that a poorly configured irrigation controller can waste a great amount of water. With great power comes great responsibility. If you need help with your controller, contact a professional or walk through it with your gardener. And a final point. Irrigation controllers run off power. So if the power goes out at your home, you can lose all the programming on your controller. This could result in the controller defaulting back to run in a daily mode, and you won't realize it until a huge water bill shows up in your email or your mailbox. The controllers usually have a battery backup that will prevent this from happening. So remember to replace the battery backup on your controller when you replace the batteries in your smoke detectors. Let's turn our attention to the garage and briefly talk about the water heater and water filtration systems. There's not so much to do in terms of efficiency with the water heater, except to look for any leaks around the water heater. There should not be any water around the exterior of the water heater, but if you see any, consider hiring a plumber to investigate and resolve the issue. Water filtration systems are also sometimes located in the garage or the side of the house. Ensure water is not being used in the house, then listen for continuous water flow if you have a water filtration system. Look around for any water on the ground or any drips. Now let's go inside and talk about finding water efficiency in the interior of your home. The bathroom is the largest source of internal water use. Between the sink, shower, and toilet, there are lots of places for water efficiency to be found. The first simple test is to listen for drips or slight hums of water moving in your toilet or in the wall. The water flow at the sink should generally flow at 1/2 gallon a minute. You can measure this by turning the water to the normal position you typically use it, then putting a measuring bucket under the flow and using a watch to track 1 minute of flow. If you don't have a measuring bucket, try a 1-gallon beverage container, such as an empty milk jug. If you fill that gallon container in less than 2 minutes, it's time to consider reducing the flow of the water at the faucet. The easiest way to help reduce faucet flow is to install an aerator to the faucet. Citrus Heights Water District offers aerators to their customers for free. They look like this and are usually simple to install. Please note, not all aerators fit all faucets. Next is your shower. It's similar to the faucet, though this target flow rate should be less than 2 gallons a minute. You'll need a bucket to measure the flow, and I suggest running the shower for 30 seconds. Holding the bucket above your head gets heavy for some of us. Then multiply the amount of water in the bucket times 2 to calculate the total flow per minute. There are a variety of excellent low-flow shower heads to choose from. You won't notice much of a difference when you shower, but your water use will be less. Finally, and most importantly, we turn to the toilet. Recent toilet standards promote ultra-high efficiency toilets, which are only 1.1 gallon per flush. Older toilets use more water with each flush, some as much as 6 gallons. You can usually locate the gallons per flush information on the front of the toilet right behind the seat. If you have an older toilet and want to replace it with a newer toilet, Citrus Heights Water District offers a rebate. If the toilet is less than 15 years old, it's likely using 1.28 or 1.6 gallons per flush. If your toilet isn't giving you trouble, it likely doesn't need to be replaced. The #1 cause of leaks around a home are toilets. The rubber on the toilet flappers gets old and they lose their tight seal. Running toilets can be hard to notice, but Citrus Heights Water District offers a simple solution with free blue dye tablets. You simply drop the tablet into your tank, so don't flush the toilet and wait at least 15 minutes. If the water in the bowl turns any shade of blue, you know this toilet is running. If this is the case, you either need to clean the bottom of the flapper or replace it with a quality new one. A slow leak can flow about 2 gallons an hour. A toilet that's seriously running can flow up to 200 gallons an hour. That's almost 300,000 gallons of water in a billing cycle, enough to fill 20 swimming pools. Now let's turn to the laundry room. Washing machines have become significantly more efficient over the years as standards have increased. A new clothes washing machine that automatically adjusts to load sizes can save both water and energy on the heating of the water. The Sacramento Municipal Utilities District, also known as SMUD, offers rebates for replacing your old washing machine with a high efficiency washing machine. Learn more at chwd.org/water-efficiency. I hope you've learned a few new things and are excited to make some water efficient changes around your home. Citrus Heights Water District is committing to helping our customers be water efficient. Taking the time to perform an audit in your home could help you reduce your water use significantly. It could also help you find issues early before they become big and expensive problems. We are here to assist you with all your questions and issues. We have a full range of additional information on our website at chwd.org, or feel free to call us at the number on the screen and speak to one of our customer service representatives, or email our water efficiency team at waterefficiency@chwd.org. Have fun saving.
Wow, that was fantastic, Debbie. A lot of good information on that recording. And remember, you can always go back and log into our website to rewatch this video and any other videos that we've done in the past. So I'm looking at our screen. Do we have any questions from anybody? And at the moment, I'm not seeing one. However, I have one because it popped into my head that if you do want to pick up a dye tab or an efficient aerator, faucet aerator, usually we'd ask you to come into the office. However, due to current conditions, we have our lobby closed. So we are willing to bring them out to you if you give us a call and set it up. We'll have one of our folks come out and deliver anything that you're asking for, whether it's a high efficiency spray nozzle, a shower head, or a faucet aerator. And with that, I was wondering, Debbie, if you might have any comments to follow up on that video.
Thank you, Rex. The two most important ways, as was discussed in the video, the two most important ways to save water are with efficient irrigation and making sure you don't have leaks around the house. Most of the time, the issue with higher water use and higher bills is because the homeowner doesn't realize how high the irrigation controller is set, or because there's issues in the system. So I do want to reiterate that it's important to check the controller, check all the programs in the controller, the different start times, and then to turn on each valve at least once a month. Things change, sprinkler heads get broken, pipes it can have leaks in them, and one broken sprinkler head without a top on it can flow 15 gallons a minute. So if you think about a traditional sprinkler head, a pop-up sprinkler head, it's about 1 to 3 gallons a minute. It's almost like a shower. Each one is like a shower. If that head is broken, it's throwing a lot of water and wasting a lot of water. How do you know? It's going on early in the morning. Check with your gardener or check it yourself, because it can make a huge difference. Again, I want to emphasize the importance of watering deep and longer instead of more often. Plants want water to the root zone. So if it's grass, the root zone might be about 4 to 10 inches, depending on the type of grass. But plants, whatever you see above ground is happening below ground. So if you're a typical shrub or plant, like a lavender plant, 2-3 feet above ground, roots are that deep. You have to water long to get that water deep to the root zone. The deeper you get it, the less evaporation deep in the soil, the less often you have to water. So I like to really emphasize that.
Great point, Debbie. And checking your irrigation controller and your system is critical to being as efficient as you can be with your watering. I mentioned earlier that we have a free WaterWise house call service that we can do for folks, where we go out and run their irrigation system, look for any inefficiencies that you might have in that system. If you have a break, most likely it can be identified during this WaterWise house call, and we will write that up for you to alert you to the issues you may have. If it's found that your system is just completely out of whack and you maybe need a new controller, we'd be happy to help you out with that too, with our direct install weather-based controller program. And that also is free on a first come, first served basis. But that is one of the most critical things you can take a look at on your outdoor water use, is your entire irrigation system and the settings of that controller. Great points, Debbie.
And also, I'd like to talk about the pressure reducing valve. Those are really important. A lot of homes have too much pressure going in. If you turn on your sink, especially if you turn on the shower and you hear that noise in the wall, it's because there's too much pressure going into the house. Too much pressure is more likely to cause toilets, not singular, but plural, to run. So having a pressure regulator on your home is good for the pipes, for the health of them, and for water leak issues. The fact that Citrus Heights Water District helps support that program is incredible.
Yes, thanks, Debbie. And that is a newer program that we urge our customers to participate in, because our pressures here at the district are relatively high compared to, let's say, a neighboring district that might have 60 pounds per square inch pressure. We typically run anywhere from 80 to 90 plus pounds per square inch PSI. And that's rather high. And that's why we try to help our customers out with this program is it will help you save water, and we're trying to ease the burden of the cost if you do install one. So take a look at our website at chwd.org to learn more about the pressure reducing valve program, our WaterWise house calls, our direct install program, and our other rebate programs that we have out there. So thank you again. Debbie, did you have anything else you wanted to add to the webinar before we go?
The last thing I want to talk about is how you water. You've got pop-up sprinkler heads and drip. There's pros and cons to both, but I'll tell you, if you have pop-up sprinkler heads and they're working well, that's great. If you're not getting good coverage, or if they're hidden behind plants and so you can't get good coverage, drip irrigation is an option. Just know that you can't mix your drip irrigation on the same valve as pop-up sprinklers. Make sure if you're going to put in drip, you do it right. You've got a pressure regulator on that valve, and that you do your homework beforehand. I also highly recommend MP rotating sprinkler heads if you're going to keep your pop-up, because they throw slower, bigger droplets that go down and hit the soil, as opposed to sometimes when you turn on your sprinklers, and especially if there's higher pressure, there's a lot of misting and you get those beautiful rainbows. While they might look nice, they do waste water, and they're not, all that water isn't going on to the ground and into the soil, but a lot of it's going into the air. So think about all these different options and take advantage of these water audits for your landscape, because they're incredibly helpful and super educational.
Fantastic. Well, Debbie, thanks again for being here for the Q&A, and also for the video, because that is a very helpful video that has great ideas and lots of tips you can use as just a regular old homeowner. So again, thanks everybody for coming, and we look forward to our next video. Goodbye.
Thanks, Rex.